I call myself a skeptic, but what is it? Well, one thing I have been taught in life is to question everything. Always ask questions. Don't just accept everything at face value. For me, skepticism is very much about having an open mind. We are prepared to hear both sides and base our decision on the evidence provided. Blind faith for me is very much about having a closed mind, as you are allowing your own ego to guide you and control your life, rather than learning through evidence, experience and facts that can often be checked. Look at the damage and harm caused through prejudice based on blind faith, such as the idea that blacks were inferior, or the burning of witches, or homophobia. People base their prejudices on blind faith, rather than any firm basis. Hey, I want to believe there are genuine mediums out there. Hey, I'd love aliens to come and say hello. And hey, I'd be weeping with joy if a so-called faith healer could prove to me they can cure cancer. But alas, nobody has yet. Would I convict a murderer just because my own blind faith and prejudice believed he was guilty, or because the evidence provided to me showed beyond doubt he was guilty? Blind faith is very much about allowing our own prejudices to run our lives and those of others. I'd rather base as many of my decisions and views as possible on some proven basis. Little things such as running across the road and hoping I may not be run down by a car may well be based on blind faith and trusting my own instincts, but all my main beliefs and central parts of my life have some concrete basis as opposed to blind faith. Don't get me wrong, there are some cynics who describe themselves as skeptics and will refuse to believe evidence whatever is provided. But they are not skeptics, they are cynics. Yes, I too would love to know exactly what the term controlled conditions means. I too would love to know who decides what the controlled conditions are and how they are agreed, and who has the final say on what they are. I would love to know what happens if none of the parties can agree on those conditions. Yes, I too would love to know who decides who or what is genuine. Hey, like some skeptics, I don't necessarily fully trust all scientists either, but at least most of what we see in science has basis in fact, and you can check the figures and theories can be tested independently in controlled environments. Hey, scientists can be wrong and their ideas later contradicted or proved wrong by other scientists, but at least we can find out how they came to those conclusions and they can be tested. But these are questions any skeptic would ask, as we realize it's important to question everything. I would hope that any testing would be fair to both sides, and the conclusions made fairly and honestly. So for the true skeptics, skepticism isn't about dismissing ideas, but listening to them, exploring them, and then looking at the evidence objectively before coming to a decision. Please never mistake cynics for skeptics, even if they may describe themselves as such. We are not here to dismiss or mock your ideas, but we want to check your ideas and see how they work. If they work and can be proven beyond doubt, you'll find many skeptics will embrace you and your ideas with open arms. When I make a decision, it is usually based on some basis in fact. If I employ a plumber, I want to see their credentials and know they can do the job. If I book a holiday, I like to read about the resort and even read reviews of it. For me, mediumship is no different. For me to know that it works, I need something concrete to be certain. I have suspicions about things, but that is based on faith, but I need more than that to be certain, or to make concrete decisions that affect my life. It's all about wanting to hear different ideas, learning about life, and then validating those theories to see if they work. How do I know I shouldn't touch a hot oven, for instance? Well, I burnt myself in one as a boy. How do I know not to fire a gun at someone? Because it has been proven to me it can do damage. How do I know there are genuine mediums out there, or that yetis exist? I don't, but please show me. I want to know for certain, and would love many popular theories to be proven to me. Skepticism is about questioning not just the beliefs of others, but your own, including some of those you have held all your life, and re-evaluating them. It's about questioning our own prejudices and all those ideas drummed into us throughout our lives. Skepticism is a vital tool of freedom. People have protested against governments and ideas because they were skeptical of the status quo and questioned the beliefs that so many held dear or dared not question. Look at women getting the vote or those who wanted to abolish slavery. They and their arguments won round, and it was their skepticism that helped them challenge the beliefs so many people shared and even took for granted. By being skeptical, we open up our minds and are able to question and not just accept what we are told at face value. It helps us to analyze information, encourages critical thinking, and helps us learn about life. We are no longer limited by our own egos, blind faith, or prejudice. So all a true skeptic is doing is asking for evidence on which to base his or her opinion. Nothing more and nothing less.